Hello little Debbies! I can't let go of hacks just yet, so here's a video of the 10 best Easter eggs, callbacks and cool details you may have missed throughout its 5 wonderful seasons. There were a couple of moments in the finale that brilliantly recalled the first ever episode. Its opening, where we start with Ava's back as she's on the sound stage preparing the shooting of her pilot, is similar to the opening of the show, where we saw Deborah's back while she was performing. We follow both women as they weave through the backstage, interacting with crews, and in Deborah's case with Marcus and Damien. The hack's creators deliberately tried to mimic the movements as much as possible to indicate a passing of the baton of sorts. The second callback is even sweeter. The last moments of our fantastic duo in that Paris train station are an homage to the ending of their first ever meeting. You may remember how ill-prepared Ava was for that meeting at Deborah's mansion, and how derisive Deborah was. The meeting ended with Ava driving away down that long driveway, only to be nearly rammed by Deborah's rolls. In the case of the Paris train station, there is no vehicular peril involved, but Deborah does intercept Ava, who had set out for the suicide train platform, rather forcefully. In both cases, it is because Deborah has thought of a better punchline than the one that Ava had, and she wants to tell her. And in both cases, she wants to change Ava's course. Back in Las Vegas, in order to hire her to work for her, and now in Paris to ask her to stick with her during her illness and help her write a new show. Now that's a better joke has to be the best line of the whole show. Maybe after the one where Josefina said that Ava looked like Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. Deborah's fans were a force to be reckoned with, and the most memorable of them was Ezekiel, whom we saw throughout the seasons. His first appearance is early in season 1, and he is portrayed by Guy Branum, who was also a writer and a producer on the show. We see him in season 3, busted by Marcus for having a Deborah Vance Etsy store, and in season 5 at the convention when he threatens Deborah that he will take his organizational talents to Kathy Griffin's fandom if Deborah doesn't start caring for her fans again. Halfway through season 2, as Deborah is having a hard time making the new material work, DJ sends a message that she has discovered on Ancestry.com that they are descendants of Betty Paris, who was involved in the Salem witch trials. Unfortunately, she was one of the accusers, hence they couldn't use it for material on the show. IRL, Jen Smart found out in an episode of Who Do You Think You Are that she is a descendant of Dorcas Hoare, one of the last women convicted of witchcraft during the Salem witch trials. Halfway through season 2, Deborah takes her child to the mall, and despite her protestations that she doesn't like it, buys her a dress. By the season end, at the party for Deborah's super successful special, Ava wears that dress that she hated. Another storyline ripped from real-life events was Deborah's visit to the doctor. In season 4, under extreme pressure, Deborah has a first for her, a panic attack while on the stage, during the dress rehearsal for the opening night of her late-night show. It's not the real thing, but she's still ordered to go to the cardiologist by Winnie to check everything out. In real life, Jen Smart had a triple bypass at the end of season 3 after filming that frat party episode. Too much partying, eh? JK, cardiovascular disease is the #1 killer, kids. Do mind the ticker, and who knows, you might also come across a comedy legend at the cardiologist's. Speaking of that first late-night monologue, if it sounded familiar to you, it's because it was a tribute to the opening line of Deborah's monologue in her aborted attempt to be the first woman on late-night TV in the 70s. In the taping, unearthed by Ava when she was digitizing Deborah's archives in season 2, the line goes, "Don't adjust your TV set. This is late night, and yes, I am a woman," which unfortunately is still a valid line today, and which appropriately the show reused in Deborah's new show with a bit of tweaking. In season 3, at the Deborah Vance Christmas Spectacular, while Deborah is trying to at least start digging the hole in which she might one day bury the hatchet with her sister, Kathy says how Deborah once told Katie Couric that she couldn't read. In season 4, when Deborah is giving a new interview to Katie Couric about her late show, her sister's alleged illiteracy comes up again. and of course Deborah leans into the joke, saying how her sister is getting worse and that all their texts are voice notes. In season 3, we first hear of Deborah's beef with Joy Behar. In the first episode, Ava tells Deborah that she didn't deserve to be cut out of her life because it's neither her sister nor Joy Behar. In the 4th episode, Joy Behar herself confirms the beef on her show The View. At the beginning of season 4, Joy Behar sends Deborah a cactus to congratulate her for her new late-night show. In season 5, they finally make amends as Deborah goes on The View to promote her Central Park show. Finally, at the beginning of season 4, when Ava was living in the Americana Mall, she was ambushed by Deborah on an escalator, wearing what can only be described as the exact outfit I wear when I leave the house. Ava tried to run away from Deborah, and as she was running up the stairs, we see that she was running towards a poster of TV show Wolf Girl, who is portrayed by her hot ex that dumped her because of Deborah. Talk of being caught between a rock and a wolf girl. And that's it from me for the time being. Watch this space for some more hacks videos. If you enjoyed this, please consider liking or subscribing. As always, thanks for watching.